Okay, so we spoke a little bit about the Dead Sea Scrolls and why that's so significant. What I want to do is just walk through that a little bit more. So let's first of all define again what the Dead Sea Scrolls. I'm going to play a little clip from a scholar. His name is Dr. Shabir Ali, and he gives a great definition of what the Dead Sea Scrolls are.
1,000 years ago, which would mean some 2,000 years after Moses. But the Dead Sea Scrolls discovered in the caves of Qumran on the bank of the Dead Sea, which is now within the occupied West Bank in Palestine, those scrolls show a high level of concordance with the present copies of the Hebrew scriptures.
So what he said there is that the Dead Sea Scrolls, which were discovered recently but date back sort of 2,200 years ago, those scrolls have a strong concordance with the Hebrew Torah we have today, with the Torah that we have today. So let's just walk through that a little bit. So if you remember, we talked about the Torah being revealed to Moses, and you can find that in Surah 2:87. And then you have the Isnad, or the unbreakable chain, which is the Torah being preserved from Musa to Isa, and you can see that in Surah 287, Surah 519, Surah 510, Surah 1912, and Surah 66:12. So if we go all the way to 33 AD to Jesus Christ, then that is the Isnad and the unbreakable chain from prophets from Moses to Jesus, Musa to Isa. Now, a little bit before Jesus, we have the Dead Sea Scrolls, okay? And the Dead Sea Scrolls is the Hebrew Torah preserved by the Jews, and we heard Dr. Shabir Ali talk about that. And one thing to point out as well, and we covered this before, is that in Islam, prophets cannot commit major sins. So Islamic prophets cannot commit major sins, including altering or misrepresenting Allah's words. This is why we have the unbreakable chain, or the Isnad, from Musa to Isa. Okay. Then we also have the Torah in the Septuagint. So the Septuagint, whereas the Dead Sea Scroll is Hebrew Torah, the Septuagint is the Hebrew Torah in Greek, because Alexander the Great came. He then introduced Greek language and Greek culture and sort of forced it upon the whole world. So for a time, the Jews were following the Torah in the Septuagint Greek, and then this became preserved not only by the Jews, but also especially by the Christians, who then preserved the Torah in the Septuagint from obviously the time of Jesus all the way to today. We also have the Codex Sinaiticus. So Codex Sinaiticus is an archaeological discovery dated to 360 AD, and it uncovered the first near complete Bible in Greek. Okay. Then we have another archaeological discovery, which is the Masoretic text, and this uncovered the first near complete Torah, or Tanakh. We don't need to worry about the Tanakh because our focus is the Torah. And so let me just try and get my pencil here. So what Dr. Shabir Ali is saying is that the Dead Sea Scrolls have a strong accordance with the Masoretic text, which obviously has a strong accordance with today, with the Torah today. In fact, the Torah today practically aligns with all historical manuscripts and sources from the past. So when we look at the Torah today, this is in line with everything before it, whether it's the Masoretic text, whether it's Codex Sinaiticus in the Septuagint Greek, whether it's the Torah preserved in the Septuagint Greek, or whether it's the Dead Sea Scrolls. Okay. But outside of all of this, we also have many external sources. Okay, let me change the color of my pen so it's easier. So we have many external sources. We have the Samaritan Pentateuch around 300 BC, which is a heretical sect, you can say, of the Jews, but It's still in a form of Hebrew, and everything lines up with the Torah today, apart from the fact that they changed the location of worship. Okay. We see the Book of Jubilees, which retells the story of Genesis and Exodus, and that was around 150 to 100 BC. We have the Tanakh authors who quote regularly from the Torah. We have Philo of Alexandria quoting and commenting on the Torah around 20 BC to 50 AD. We have the New Testament authors making various quotes from the Torah around 40 to 90 AD. We have Josephus in his book Antiquities of the Jews, which retells Genesis right until the present day of AD 70 when the Second Temple was destroyed by the Romans. And again, his retelling um, highly corroborates with the Torah that we have today. And then, of course, you've got the early church fathers who had various sermons and commentaries and letters that regularly quoted from the Torah. And when we look at those quotes and references, they pretty much corroborate the Torah that we have today. So all of this good stuff here lines in with the Torah we have today. Hope that's been useful. Let me know if you have any questions or comments.